chapter 6. I hope that's not in reverse. The lads. Since Peter was off all day Monday, he texted his friends to see if they wanted to meet at the yacht. I'll buy the first round. After that, you're on your own, said the group text invite from Peter. Did you win the lottery? Asked Rasher. I'll go for one, said John Boy. You cheap bollocks, John Boy. I'll stay for two, said Porrig. Text me when the first one of yous arrives and I'll walk across the street, said Peter. Porrig was the first one to arrive at the yacht and shot Peter a text. Carlsberg, Porrig? Asked the barman. Yeah, but Peter's buying, Dave. I'll trust you're telling the truth, said Porrig, and you won't run out after drinking this, said Dave as he poured the beer. Peter walked in and told Dave not to take Porrig's money. He handed the barman some cash and told him to cover Rasher and John Boys when they arrived. As soon as David started pouring Peter's Heineken, Rasher and John Boy walked in. 2 pints of Guinness, Dave, please, said Peter. All right, Pete, said Rasher. What the fuck happened to your head? I'll bring the 2 Guinness over, lads, when they're ready, said Dave. Thanks, Dave. Just a benign tumour they had to remove, said Peter as he moved towards one of the open alcoves. Jeez, Peter. Sorry to hear that. Will they need to do chemo? Do you even know what benign means? Interrupted Porgy. Yeah, said Rasher. Fucking cancer, man. No, you dozy bollocks. Malignant is cancer. Benign is all right. Well, excuse me, Dr. O'Connor. Sorry, Pete. I get those two mixed up. Dave dropped the 2 Guinness at the table and they raised their glasses and toasted Peter. Well, I also thought that maybe Peter was buying our drinks because he was dying, said Rasher. No, I'll be around for a while, God willing. You know how I always remember the 2, said Porrig. B before C and M after C. He proceeded to take a drink and wipe his foam moustache left by the Guinness. They looked at him. Are you going to explain that formula, Einstein, or do we have to keep in suspense here, said Rasher. It's quite simple. B equals benign, which is before cancer, which equals cancer. So there is no cancer. M is malignant, and after C, cancer, so there is cancer. There was a pause and a look of confusion. Hey, said Porrig, at least it helps me remember so I'm not sending over Lucasade and grapes to someone who just had a fucking mole removed. So anyway, said Rasher, you're doing all right then? Yeah, all's well, said Peter. Where'd you have it done? Asked John Boy. Vincent's hospital, just a quick in and out on a Sunday. Peter started to feel uncomfortable with the questions and changed the subject. They talked for a few hours and were about to leave when the 9 o'clock news came on. Today in Tunisia, a suicide bomber. For fuck's sake, said Porrig. Another one. Fucking killing his own. Were those fucking people born just pissed off with the world? Porrig, you get that kind of thing in all races, said Rasher. That's bollocks, Rasher. And besides, it's not a race. It's a fucking religion. And when is the last time you heard of a Jewish terrorist? Fucking Netanyahu, said Rasher. Would you go on with yourself, Rasher? He might as well be Porrig with all the shit he puts on the Palestinians. Come on, Rasher, you don't mean to compare fuckers blowing up women and kids with Netanyahu. I fucking do, mate. Listen, lads, Porrig continued, lowering his voice. Most of those attacks are coming from Muslims. They want to wipe the fucking rest of us out. But if that was true, Porrig, we'd all be dead, as there's 1 billion of them, said Peter. I'm surprised you, of all people, would stand up for them, Peter, said Porrig. As much as Porrig wanted to rewind the tape of reality a few seconds, the damage was done. There was a silence from the group. Peter's face reddened and he finished his pint. John Boy stared right through Porrig. Sorry, Peter. He was going to continue and Peter waved him on. Don't worry about it, Porrig. Listen, lads, I'm not tired. I'm going. I'm going to head out. Yeah, me too, said John Boy. They all got up and headed out the door. Peter walked into the flat and called Jackie. How long will it take to get the skin on that agent? That's the end of chapter... I think that's the... Oh, I see some problem here. Do I? Oh, no. 2 pages were stuck together. Woo! That's it. That's the end of chapter. There's another bar scene that comes later, I think. I really enjoyed that chapter. Writing it and reading it. Interesting that the Netanyahu comment that was written 4 years ago. You know, that's interesting. And then also that benign and malignant, that is a formula I came up with to try to remember the difference between the two. I don't think I wrote it very well, but it still worked. But I love that, and I wish I could do more of it. And I think I do have another section, but I would just fill in more, because to me, trying to capture lads slagging each other and having conversation, and you have one character who's kind of dumb. I really love that, and I think I'd like to do more. Someone who was great at that was Roddy Doyle. I was always he did the commitments and stuff like that. So there you go. And I've actually never been in the yacht. I've walked by there and looked in the window, so I can imagine what the inside looks like in my head, but I don't remember. So good night.